Hi, everybody. So now we're back to meeting in the middle. So we have people who have hand entered their data into SPSS, and then we have folks who downloaded it from, say, a Google form, right? And so now you have all your data in your SPSS, and I'm going to remind you how to walk through this. So I'm going to go ahead and share screen. This is not a data set that did what yours was doing. I didn't create a questionnaire for this one. I used existing questionnaires, but we can look at a lot of the same things y'all looked at. So for this one, I had more extensive demographics than you all probably did. Just to show you, here I have age and gender, whether or not they were Hispanic, and then whether they identified as various races, and things like sexual orientation, height, and weight. And then I asked them things about current or past diagnoses. And then this particular study, we were asking them if they ever manipulated their selfies. Some of you may have participated in this study. I believe this was last spring. So if you did, thank you. And then I'll go back to variable view, and you can see some of the questionnaires we asked. So we had questionnaires about social media use, about comparison to other people. So when I'm at a party or social gathering, I compare my overall appearance to others. We had questions about viewing yourself as an object and internalizing the thin ideal. I want my body to look very thin. Positive body satisfaction, or what we call body appreciation. And then also just body dissatisfaction as well. And some stuff about face satisfaction. So I'm going to show you all some of what you will want to do for your posters, and we'll start really basic. So one of the things you're going to want to do is get some frequencies on your basic demographic information. And so I'm not sure, hang on, I'm going to try a different type of share. So hopefully you'll be able to see my whole screen, and you'll be able to see when these little windows pop up and I'm manipulating something. So let's say we want to know how many people we have of each gender and maybe ethnicity and race. Okay, so we just say we want frequencies on all of those. Our output window will pop up. You can see I had 83 people in this data set. And you can see 71 were female, 11 were male, 1 identified as other. And then you can see the vast majority were not Hispanic, Latinx. I only had 1 who identified as Indigenous, 25 identified as African American, 9 as Asian American, 59 as Caucasian. And they were allowed to select more than 1 of these if they were mixed race. Okay, so those are nice things that you can put when you describe your participants. The only other thing you might want to do with that, if you go to analyze descriptive statistics, descriptives, is let's say you want to look at things like age. Well, age, we don't want to look at frequencies. It's going to give us a weird list of things we don't need, right? But if we say, tell me the descriptive statistics for age, what we'll find is it gives us our maximum age in the data sets. We had someone who was 58 in this one, our minimum age. We had someone who was 18, and then our mean age was about 22. So if you're thinking of that in terms of BWU students, the average person who participated was probably a senior, right? Because that's about how old you are when you're a senior. All right, so again, those are nice things to put in to describe your participants. Then you want to answer the questions we're asking, right? We want to answer questions about what is the reliability of this and what is the validity of this new scale. So for this one, let's say we use that social media scale as our new scale. I didn't develop it, but let's pretend that this is the one that we developed. Okay? So then what we'd want to start with is reliability. So if you go analyze scale reliability analysis, And this will bring up this window. And then what you want to do is select all the items from that particular questionnaire, the one that you came up with. This is the SMAPS, I love it, social media, something. And then you put that over into items by pressing this arrow. Remember that if you had any reverse coded items, so one that went in the opposite direction wording wise than the others, you'd want to reverse code that first and use the reverse coded ones for your reliability analysis. This one, they're all in the same direction, so I don't have to do that. Many of you may have done that for your questionnaires as well. I want alpha. I can click into statistics and tell it I want descriptors for the item, the scale, and the scale if that item was deleted. Okay. Then I can say continue, and I can say okay. And then what it will do is give me my reliability. So it'll say reliability statistics. Cronbach's alpha is the statistic we use. And this is 0.912. Again, I cannot take credit. I did not develop the scale, but you can see it's very internally consistent. It's very reliable. And then what you'll see is our item statistics. And you can see, what would happen if that item was deleted. And it'll even tell you how the Cronbach's alpha would change if the item was deleted. And what you can see here is the alpha for the scale with all the items included is always higher than if you took out one of these items. Now, this probably won't happen when you're developing yours. You might have one that maybe your alpha ends up being 0.8, and then you could get a 0.9 if you took out that item. That's something interesting to talk about in your results, right? And something to consider when you add up the scales, right? So maybe you want to test your correlations with and without the items. Now, again, if I'm going to do my validity, wow, I couldn't think of the word validity. It's the end of the semester, y'all. And I'm going to do my validity ones. I would need to add up these items. So I'd go to transform, compute variable. And then I would want to call this something like SMAPS. I still love that acronym. Total. Okay. And then I would just take the items on that SMAPS and add them. +2, +3. You can go all the way. This is 18 items, and you'd want to make sure you put all of them in there with pluses in between. Okay. I already did that in this particular data set, as well as for my other scales. So I'm not going to take the time to do all that, but I think y'all get that part of it. So when I want to do my validity stuff, I'm going to do some correlations. So analyze, correlate, bivariate. Okay. And then I'm going to go down to the bottom because that's where my added up ones are. So here is the SMAPS total. And then let's say I thought that social media should be really highly correlated with internalization of the thin ideal. Okay, that's what this is. This is the name of the scale is the Sociocultural Attitudes Towards Appearance Questionnaire, SATAC, and then TII is Thin Ideal Internalization. So I think you're using social media a lot, especially for image-related things. You're going to have my convergent validity measure is internalization of that thin ideal. Whatever your questionnaire you put in there that you thought should be really correlated with what you developed. All right. All right, and what we see, yeah, spot on, right? So it's at 0.60. That's a pretty darn high correlation. Any higher, and we'd get worried that we're not actually measuring different things, like our questionnaire is not going to add value, right? So you can see the R is 0.609, and then the P, the SIG, is less than 0.001. So that means it's highly significant. And the correlation coefficient, that Pearson correlation, is 0.6 0.609, or you could round it up to 0.61. Awesome. So we have evidence of convergent validity. Let's say then we want to look at evidence of divergent validity. Again, we're going to go to analyze, correlate, bivariate. And this time we're going to take that thin ideal internalization out. And let's say, the problem is everything I got in here is going to correlate pretty highly because we did that on purpose. But let's say that measure that just looked at faces. We thought that's not going to correlate that highly with social media usage. I would have something better in here if I was doing what y'all were doing. So let's say I say, okay, that's good. That's what I want. This is going to be testing for divergent validity. And what you can see is, again, like, I don't have a good divergent one, right? But in theory, if I had something not body related, this would be a non-significant or a lower correlation coefficient. This one's actually higher, so it's a bad example, but at least I showed you how you do it, right? So two separate correlations. First one, you correlate with your convergent validity measure. Second one, you correlate with your divergent validity measure. I'm going to look again real quick to see if I have anything that won't correlate. It's so funny. Like, you can tell I have good hypotheses and good like ideas of what will relate, because that's what I put in here. Let me look real quick to see if there's something. Let's test age for the heck of it. I'm just going to try to show you something that is not that related. Yeah, so here's an example. Here's what you might get if you're looking at your divergent validity, right? So the Pearson correlation is very small, 0.05, very tiny. And then that sig is not less than 0.05. That's your, again, your p-value. You want that to be 0.05 or lower. And this is not significant. So you might find something that looks like that for your divergent validity. I didn't have divergent validity stuff in this sample, and so go me and my students who designed this study. So hopefully that is helpful to you. Hopefully that helps you realize that the analyses won't take that long for this particular assignment. And hopefully that kind of brings everything back to the beginning of the semester when we did do the practice. If you have any questions, please email me. I'm glad to meet with people over Zoom or in person.